Welcome to our program on Kardec Radio.
Hello, dear friends. Good evening to everyone. I am Correa, and we are here every Tuesday evening at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time to study the very laws that govern our lives as well as the universe. We, as children of God, are bound to progress. And the more we align ourselves with the universal laws that are a reflection of God's love, the more we progress and the faster we achieve an imperturbable sense of well being. So, this is why we are here together. And congratulations to all of us who have consciously decided to invest in the good in us for immortality. It is with this beautiful and divine purpose in mind that tonight we shall focus our attention on question 896, where Kardec elaborates on the questions about practicing selflessness, which we began discussing right here last week. So, before we read Kardec's wise question, we would like to welcome everyone who is here tonight with a warm embrace, visualizing the mentors enveloping everyone in healing and loving divine light. Knowing that we are being guided by the mentors on high, we ask for God's permission to begin this study session together. So, welcome, dear friends, and let us hear directly from Kardec himself. In question 896 of the Spirit's Book, Kardec asks the following question. There are disinterested individuals who lack judgment and who dispense their assets without any real benefit because they do not make a reasonable use of them. Do they have any merit? Very good question. It is good as well for us to assess where we are. Do we dispense of our own assets without giving them a meaningful purpose? Let us hear what the mentor spirits have to tell Kardec and all of us so we can continue to recalibrate ourselves and work, therefore, on our inner transformation. The mentor spirits answer Kardec and all of us as follows. They have the merit of disinterestedness, but not that of the good they might do. If selflessness is a virtue, thoughtless profligacy is always, at the very least, a lack of judgment. Wealth is not to be given to some to be thrown away at any more than it is given to others to be locked up in the safe. It is a fiduciary deposit they will have to account for, because they will have to answer for all the good that was within their reach and that they failed to do, as well as for all the tears they could have dried with the money they wasted on those who had no need of it. So we appreciate the mentors on high because they give us a very clear set of directives. They tell us that whatever material resource comes to our hands, is a concession from God. And thus, we are meant to utilize these concessions not only for our own good, but for the good of others. That when we uh, utilize those resources, God is keeping divine accountability of the way in which we apply those resources. The divine accountability, according to the mentors on high, functions as follows. One criteria is, are we using those resources to empower others, to bring joy and hope to others, so as to dry their tears, so as to bring the good news that has brought us life back to them? Number one. Number two, are we utilizing these resources to do all the good within our reach? Two criteria utilized by God in it in God's divine accountability. All of us, incarnate and discarnate spirits, have a quote unquote tab in God's accountability system. And when we discarnate, this accountability or balance sheet will be brought to our attention. Is it because God is going to demand that we give account of everything? No, beloved friends, since we know God is love and love does not demand. So, where is it that we are going to find the divine accountant that will ask us for the divine balance of our resources? It is in our own conscience. We ourselves, as we free ourselves from the shackles, the heavy shackles of the physical body, are going to ask ourselves in our own conscience how we have utilized the resources we have. Oh, but Carol, we are not wealthy, so forget it. This does not apply to us. Beautiful friends, material resources are not just of financial nature we learn in Spiritism. Material resources are, for instance, the resource of our time. In the book Jesus in the Home, our beloved Master explains to us that time is a divine talisman. If we know how to use it in the benefit of others and in transforming ourselves, we shall emerge victoriously at the end of this incarnation. So, time is one of our biggest resources. Another resource that we most certainly have, especially those of us connected here right now, is that of Spiritism. Do we actually apply to our lives the light that has been offered to us? Do we share it, or do we hide it under the bushel? If we hide it under the bushel, our conscience is going to ask for an account of it. In the book, beloved friends, Liberation by Andre Lewis, we see a particular spirit being judged in the courts of the lower zones. He is judged and labeled as a greedy person, as a miser. Why? Because though he did not have financial resources, he was granted illuminated intellectual resources in that lifetime, and he kept it all for himself in the safety and comfort zones of his own library. Though he knew much, he refrained from sharing the light that nourished his soul. Thus, when he discarnated, he was considered a miser, and his own conscience deemed himself as guilty for not having shared the good that he had received and not being able to bring a new understanding to others through the knowledge that had been given to us. So, all of us who are here have the responsibility to share of what we know. Oh, but Carol, come on. No one in the US really knows about Spiritism. Why, dear friends? Because we who know may refrain from sharing. So, if we would like to multiply God's talents and be on the green, gain some little tiny, teeny credit in the journey of our own redemption, we are being invited to share of the wealth that has been given to us. Chico Xavier used to say that we who know Spiritism are billionaires of the Spirit. And indeed, that is most certainly true. Let us ask ourselves an exercise, therapeutic exercise for us. Since we now recognize that we are wealthy because we are being given the divine talisman of time, we are being given the blessing of a physical body without which we wouldn't be reincarnated, and we are being given the blessing of knowledge in general, and especially Spiritist, Christian, Christ centered, God centered knowledge. So let us assess ourselves. How much have we been sharing, distributing this talents, this wealth that was given to us? Zero. Oh, Carol, no, no, no. I keep it to myself because other people don't understand. 10. I share it all the time, every day. I am sharing away. Where are we in this scale? This is a form of practicing selflessness. Oh, but Carol, we don't want to share because people won't understand. Dear friends, yes, this is a risk we take. But this is more of a concern of the ego than anything else. Because why is it that Master Jesus placed us here in the United States, being the minority of the minority of the minority of the minority, being in the small group of individuals who know of Spiritism and who share it in English? Why? So that the talent would become all the more available to others. Can you imagine? Can we imagine when in the future our English speaking friends find out that we knew as much as we do and we didn't share? They might say, how come is it, Carol, that you knew of this and you didn't share? So let us do our part. Therapeutic exercise for us. Within the next 24 hours, let us share a word of the good news, of the wealth, of the treasures of the good news that nourish our souls. Let us share it consciously, knowing that it will bring comfort, hope, and divine light to our brothers and sisters who are children of God and who shall know of God through this beautiful, compassionate, healing light that Spiritism brings to all of us without a distinction of linguistic, cultural, or nationality, linguistic background, cultural background, ethnicity, or nationality. Let us share, dear friends, Master Jesus, and of course, first and foremost, God are counting on us to be distributors of their wealth. Oh, but Carol, come on, we're gonna put ourselves on the line here. What if people don't understand? We don't have to worry because this knowledge is not ours. This knowledge is a concession of God. So when we share, it is not about us. We are just being instruments of the divine. Let us then embrace the call, dear friends, and share away, distribute the talents, the wealth that has been given to us. After all, we are billionaires of the Spirit. So let us then share our blessings as we stay tuned right here on Kardec Radio because, of course, we already know it. Here, we are always nourishing our souls. Thank you, dear friends, for the gift of your presence. Many blessings, a big hug, and we look forward to seeing you again next time. Bye for now.